Berkowitz here to deliver a shir Nishmat Yisrael Amichai ben Sara. Please make brachot. If you do, say them out loud before the shir. And have in mind Yisrael Amichai ben Sara. Should be b'schut lav yet neshama. Most people start falling asleep after 10 minutes.
Okay. 3 sleepers.
3 sleepers.
I appreciate the schus of standing in this Admas Kodesh, or being in this Admas Kodesh, and being this Sediva of Kedusha and Tahara and Simchas HaMitzvahs and Behiras Amunah that is in this home is really unbelievable. And Kemuris Surim Merana Meguris Ashuran, it all comes from the days before, and it's transmitted Baruch Hashem to the children. You have to learn from each other. Every person is a Malamed. That it's a double portion. This is the way Yiddishkeit is finished. And it's very healthy, Baruch Hashem, to be mechanech children this way. The beginning of the parasha it says, "Kach locha egel ben boker lachatz v'ayla oilo t'mimim mahakel v'nei Hashem." That Moshe Rabbeinu tells Aaron HaKohen on Shmini L'Miluim, take a egel ben boker, a calf, a young cattle, for korban chatas, and an ayil, a ram la'oila, which should be t'mimim complete and bring it before the Rebbeinu Shalom. So Rashi's lotion is Kach locha egel lohoidia, to let him know shemechaper lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu forgave him ayidei egel zeh al ma'isa egel she'oso, on the ma'isa egel that he did. Enkan mokom laharich, that Aaron HaKohen had very little to do with the egel, very little. Even though that's the lotion, but he stopped stopping them. That's all Aaron HaKohen did, but not for now. But I want to just stress the word lohidia. Lohidia shemachaper lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu, on that he was mechaper, he forgave him for the ma'asa egel. There's the following story. Reb Chaim Kreisworth was a Holocaust survivor, a Goyin HaGoyinim, a Rav in Antwerp, Belgium, who knew the entire Shas Bavli Baal Peh, like your Pinchas Hirschberg. They both had this. Did you learn by Ramesh Shapiro?
Yeah.
So they both learned by Ramesh Shapiro. Both of them, Chaim Kreisler, Pinchas Hirschberg in Montreal. But the story that I'm telling you is with Chaim Kreisler. Chaim Kreisler used to come over and say, Shalom Aleichem Tziyaya, what daf are you holding? And let's say Tziyaya would say what daf he's holding. He would start from the first word of the daf, even if it was the middle of the sentence. And hold your hand until he got to the last word. And that's the way Chaim Kreisler used to say Shalom Aleichem to people. He was a Goyin HaGoyinim. Anyways, he was a Holocaust survivor. And it's a story b'fnei atzmai, what schus he felt saved him, because the Yid came to Krakow for medical attention, and he gave him his bed for 6 months, and he slept on the floor. He didn't say, Rebbeinu Shalom saved me in the schus of my Torah, my schus of that. He asked Rebbeinu Shalom saved, and he was mamish, he was lined up to get shot by the Nazis. And he just cried out, Rebbeinu Shalom, just remember the schus that I give away my bed. Anyways, I don't want to go off on tangents. There was a tzibrocha in a Yid that was so weak. He had no havamina that he's going to survive the war. And he happened to have in Switzerland a bank account that had gold and silver, tremendous amount of money. But he said to himself, the Nazis are going to shoot me and I'm not going to make it. And I'd love if my children or relatives, any of my relatives, would be able to get it one day. So he went over to Chaim Kreisworth and he told him, you're stronger than me, you're healthier than me, you might make it out of the war. And I don't think I'm going to make it. and he told him the numbers of his Swiss bank account. I told you the Hagdama Baruch Chaim Kreisler's powerful moyach, just to explain to you why he remembered those numbers. He remembered all the numbers. Okay, so the war is over. Reb Chaim Kreisler knew he obviously he knew the fellow's name, and his mother's name, and his father's name, and the city they came from. And every now and then, when he met the Polish Yidden, they went through the war with 5 years of it. There weren't that many of them. But whenever he met a Yid, he would ask them. Agav, is Yadua Lakoil. It's Yadua Lakoil. Everybody across the board, Litvish Goinim and Tzaddikim, Hasidish Goinim Tzaddikim, they all said that the reason the Nazis didn't get to the Sfardim is because of the Kovet Beis HaMedrash. Because of the Kovet of Beis HaMedrash. Kovet Beis HaMedrash doesn't mean that I don't speak in shul. That's not what it means. It means that I've covered the Beis HaMedrash. Memela it's over Pasha I don't speak. Anyways, so whenever he met a Polish Yid, he would ask them, "What's your name? Where you from?" And he said, "No, not related to this fellow." Then one day, Reb Chaim Kreisler is in New York, and he's going from Borough Park to Manhattan, and he goes to the train station, and he sees an Alter Zerbrochene Yid, and he's crying. He goes over to him and he says, "Can I help you?" So he said, "Yeah, I need to go to Manhattan. I don't even have money for a token." I don't have money for a token. So Chaim Kreisler asks him, "What's your name?" So he tells him his name. His name, whoa. "And what's your father's name?" He told him his father's name. "What's enough? Give me what my father's name is." He said, "I asked you something. Tell me your father's name." He told him his father's name. He told him his mother's name. He told him where he came from. Chaim Kreisler told him, "Reb Yid, I'm going to give you this token happily, but you have nothing to worry about anymore. You have nothing to worry about." This was 25 years after the war. "You have nothing to worry about anymore. I know the numbers of your relative's Swiss bank account, and life's going to be good. And you'll have." And Lamaisa, he told him his number and everything, end of that story. Reb Chaim Kreisler used to always say the following thing. He said, those 25 years after the war, was he on Osher or was he on Ani? What was he? Was he on Osher or Ani? He said, Avada, he was on Osher. There's no question he was on Osher. He was on Osher, but he just didn't know about it. And that's what we, going through this bitter gullus, have to realize. We have to realize that we really are shirim. Because of our tzoras, Rahman al-Islam, and not having it that easy, Baruch Hashem, in America, we're not starving. There's other nisyonis. There are other nisyonis. You should know that Chavivim Yisrael shenikru barim lamokam, and that's the pshat in the Tana, where the Tana says, Chiba Yisrael noidas lahem. It's an extra chiba, it's an extra love that HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells us, you are barim lamokam. You don't have to wait to find out. I'm telling you now. Look, learn the Mishnah in Masechet Zovos, you're barim lamokam. So that's a pshat that they say in the first Rashi in this week's parasha, that Aaron HaKohen was told lo hoidia shemechapel HaKadosh Baruch Hu aidei egel zeh. He was nischaper through bringing this egel as a korban chatos. So the Rebbeinu Shalom didn't just didn't forgive him. Lo hoidia, that Moshe Rabbeinu came to tell Aaron HaKohen, you should know that you are forgiven and you're forgiven. So sometimes a person has to hear it. And I don't know, whenever I think of this beautiful mishpach over here that was led in this house by Yisrael Amichai ben Sara Yosef, I think of this, how rich and real rich, and what really riches, the type of riches that really counts is here. I want to touch on another Rashi in this week's parasha. There's a Rashi that says, "Vayomer Moshe Aaron." Moshe tells Aaron HaKohen, "Karav el HaMizbeach, come close to the Mizbeach." So Rashi says, "Sha'oya Aharon Boish." Aaron was shy. The Yoreh Lageshes, and he was afraid to come close. So Amalei Moshe told him, Lama ataboish, why are you shy? Therefore you were chosen. So it just sounds like when a child doesn't want to do something, you just prod and do it. It'll be good for you. Don't worry, don't be shy. The more don't be shy, you tell them don't be shy, the more ready it becomes. But there's another pshat over here. The other pshat is, when I'm going to read you the Rashi differently, it'll be hard to understand the Rashi the other way. That Shahoya Aaron Boish, Aaron had busha, the Yorei Lageshes, and he was afraid to come close. Amalai Moshe told him, Lama Ata Boish, Lama Ata Boish, Lakach Nivcharta. You were chosen because you're Midas Habusha. That's exactly why you were chosen. And because you have Midas Habusha, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you this gedula of being an Oymed Umeshamish and bringing karbonis to Klalis, for Klalis or to the Rebbeinu Shalom. And Baruch Hashem, this midah is very apparent in the Akeres Habayis of this beautiful home. I want to share with you just a few inyanim about the kapora of the Chet Egel, which was the Porah Aduma, which is this week's parasha, Parashas Porah. So, Rashi Mesechus Megillah says like this: the Ramasal Porah Aduma, Lahazir as Yisrael Latara Sheyasu Pischem Betahara. That the reason is that even of Parashas Porah, we are mazir and encouraging and telling Klal Yisrael, become Tahar. Rish Chodesh Nisan is coming, and we're going to read Parashas HaChodesh and know all the dinim of the Korban Pesach, but you have to be Tahar to bring the Korban Pesach. So you have to be Matayar yourself. So this week we are going to read Parashas Porah, and we're going to learn to be Matayar ourselves, and then comes Parashas HaChodesh, we'll learn the halachos of Korban Pesach, and Alavai Bez Hashem Yisborach. We will be Zoichet to the Animamim, the 13th Animamim, B'munah Shalem B'Shabari Yisborach Shemai, is going to bring Tchias HaMesim, Be'eshet Talet, Ritzoyim Eis HaBari Yisborach Shemai, and we all together are going to bring the Korban Pesach. Nisan, Tes, Yod Dalet Nisan, Shnas Tov Shenayim Tes.
Amen.
So, the Levush's Lashon is, nowadays we read it b'bakosh l'Hakadosh Baruch Hu. We read the Haftarah of Parashas Porah of Zeroik Aleinu Mayim Taharim V'Tahartem. The Hakadosh Baruch Hu spritz on us Mayim Taharim, we should become Tahar. That Shegam Aleinu on us Yizrok Mayim Taharim, the Rebbeinu Shalom was going to spritz Mayim Taharim b'Meheira. And then it says the Haftarah also speaks about the Taharas Yisrael Asid Lovei. Because in the Haftarah we read, in the 10th pasuk of the Haftarah, pasuk number 10, is Zarakti Alecha Mayim Taharim, Utahartem, Mikol Tumay Seichem, Umikol Gidulecha Matar Escha. So there is a tremendous kasha over here. And the kasha is like this. Whenever you see in Shulchan Aruch, the Haftarah, it doesn't skip the pasuk number 10. It says the first pasuk. Whatever the Haftarah is, let's say Shabbos Chanukah. So the Ramah says you lane running the Simchi Bas Tzion. It's the first words of it. But in Shulchan Aruch it says like this. Nearly the Mechaber in Siman Tov Reish Pei says like this. Be'echad in the first sefer, Koyrim Parashas Shavua, which is going to be Shmini. U'b'sheni in the second one, Koyrim Parashas Porah. We read Parashas Porah, which is in Chukas. U'maftir v'zorakti aleichem mayim tahirim. It's the 10th pasuk. The first pasuk is Vayhi Dvar Hashem. Why isn't the Mechaber say that you're the maftir Vayhi Dvar Hashem? The teretz is that the Mechaber is telling you that the reason we read this Haftarah is because of that pasuk, and the pasuk is the highlight of that Haftarah of the Zarakti Aleichem Mayim Tahirim, which is like the Ramah that I mentioned before, that it's a tefillah. So this coming Shabbos, we daven to Kutsha B'richu. We should all be zayich to get spritzed by the Mayim Tahirim, and we should become Tahar, in Meretz Hashem to be able to bring the Korban Pesach. The Lashon of the Yisrael Church Avodah, whose yortzeit is Yud Ches Adar, whichever minig you have, which are the Rishon or the Sheni, but there's the Yesh Dvarim Begav anyways, today was Yud Ches Adar. So his Lashon is like this. Yitan Adam Hayda Atzuba B'Machshavta. You have to give a tremendous thanks in your thoughts, in your Machshava. B'Shas Kriyasi, when you read Parshas Parah, Liyatzenu U'Bareinu Yizbarach Shemai. Thank to the Rebbeinu Shalom. Ala Nechames HaGedolim HaNiskarim Sham Miroi Vachuka. There's going to be so many Nechames that when Mashiach Tzidkenu comes, from the Chuka, the Klal Yisrael wanted all this long, bitter, close to 2,000-year-old Golos. Ubeyichad, and especially in the pasuk of Nasati Lachem Leiv Chodesh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to give us a new heart. And the pasuk is Ruchi Etem B'Kir B'Chem. Ubevadei Miroy Shukosai, from your tremendous desire, Alzeh, Yochel Adam Lovei Lidei Yeridas Demois Mikol HaTshuka. A person should come to tears from the tremendous teshuka, and these are not sad tears. These are tears of joy and tears of hope. And tears of tefillah, which should be Zoyach Bez Hashem Baruch to bring the paraduma, and to have the paraduma become tahirim. Obviously, we have to lead our lives with tahara, and be Zoyach to complete tahara of tumah that we have here in being in Golos. There's a famous story with the paraduma with Doma ben Esina, the Gemara in Kedushin, that Doma ben Esina. Dom ben Esina had one of the stones of the Chayshin that the Yidden needed. And that stone was lost. Shtikl Chiddush, why you lose the stone of the Chayshin? But the stone was lost. Or the stone of the Ephod, but the Pasha was the stone of the Chayshin. And they needed that stone. And this guy, Mr. Dama, son of Esina, has the stone, and we all know the story. And the Chacham come to buy and get it from the guy, and it's in a treasure chest. But the key is under Dama ben Yosina's father's pillow. So a guy should come to wake up his father. Yiddish should come and woke up his father. The rest of his father give him a side patch. But whatever. So he didn't wake up his father. So in the schus of that, the Rebbeinu gave him later on, gave him a paraduma, and the Chacham came back to buy the paraduma from him, and he got all his money back. I do want to share with you, the Regiftas Zitzal said, from one word of that Gemara you can see that he's a guy. Because when they came back to get the paraduma from him, Doma ben Esina said, just give me the money she'ifsadeti b'shvil kvoid Abba. Give me just the money that I lost because of kibbut av. He said, no Yid would ever say the word I lost when it came to a mitzvah. It's not shaykh, it's in no vocabulary of a Yid. No Yid said, I lost $155 for a beautiful lulav and esrog. No Yid would ever said such a word of sadati. Regiftas told me said that the word of sadati shines out as a guy. What?
A Yid will charge double for the stone and for the fire.
Again, but you're right. But the buyer will never say it. But the buyer will never say that. The buyer will never say the word of sadati. So first of all, why was the stone missing? Why was the stone missing? And which stone was it? So there is a fascinating Chasam Sofer that says like this. The Rambam says in Paraktes Halacha Zayin Milchas Kli Mikdash like this. That on the Avonim was engraved Shemoisa Shvatim, the names of the Shvatim, Mikol Der Doisim, the way they were born. Nimtza comes out when we read the psukim of the Tzaveh Bikudei. Oidem is Ruvain, Oidem Pito Verekes. So Oidem is Ruvain. And Binyamin is the last stone, is Yoshvei. That's the last stone. Okay, so Aaron walked around with a chayshin with the names of the 12 Shvatim on his chest, Alibai. On top of the Shvatim, it also said Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. You guys, Shiftei Yeshurun. Shiftei Yeshurun. But the Rambam in Perek Tesach Halacha Zayin says that it said Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. The Kosov Lamata mi Binyamin, it said under Binyamin, Shiftei Kor. Kefti sheyu kol oisius metzuya sham. And the reason they needed the oisius Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Shiftei Kor, Shiftei Yeshurun, because they needed to have all the oisius. Because this way, when the Kohen asked the Urim Tumim and got answered, you had to have oisius to illuminate the answer. So you have to have all the oisius. So that's the way it was. So the unfortunately, the Rambam struggled with this. The Gemara says that it said Shiftei Yeshurun. It said Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov Shiftei Yeshurun. The Rambam says that it said Shiftei Kor. So what is the pshat in that? So the Chasam Sofer says, an unbelievable Yerushalmi, he says like this, that the names of Klal Yisrael, that the name of Shiftei Kor, Shiftei Yeshurun, changed according to the Madrega of Klal Yisrael. That means the word Yeshurun means a very, very choshev name, more than just Shiftei Kor. Shiftei Yeshurun means Shvatim Yeshurun, where in the Choshen there's a testimony that we are Yashar, that we do things that are right. So when Klal Yisrael was on a very high Madrega, the Oisius and the Choshen was carved out Shiftei Yeshurun. And therefore in Azinu it says Yeshurun twice, and also in the Zoyis HaBracha, remind me, right in the beginning of the parasha, Simcha. Okay, so it says, so Yeshurun is a higher Madrega. And he says like this, the Dora Midbar that we don't understand it because it was from the highest Doris that Klal Yisrael ever had. We're not Zoichet to Shiftei Yeshurun, but the Bnei Dora Midbar that went into Eretz Yisrael, who were already cleansed from whatever chesroinus that Dora had, which is not for us to understand, they were Zoichet to Yeshurun. So there were times that Klal Yisrael lost the school of being called Shiftei Yeshurun, and they were called Shiftei Kor. And therefore the Chasam Sofer says that Yoshvei was lost because on the stone of Binyamin it said Shiftei Yeshurun. And since we weren't Yeshurun anymore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made it that we didn't have the stone anymore. So they had to go get a new stone. And what did they write? They wrote the Madrega that we were Nebuchadnezzar, because we went down from Shiftei Yeshurun. So that's why the Rambam says that on Binyamin's stone it said Shiftei Kor, because then it was already the Bayis Sheni. And during the Bayis Sheni, it was already a step down from the Bayis Rishon. There were 5 unbelievable things from the Bayis Rishon that didn't exist in the Bayis Sheni anymore. And that is why they needed to go look for a stone which was Binyamin's. And the reason they lost it is because they weren't Shiftei Yeshurun anymore. They were Shiftei Kor. And the Chasam Sofer says, obviously, if we want that stone back that says Shiftei Yeshurun, we have to act Yosher. And act Yosher means of the Chasam Sofer to live and breathe and exhale Ahavas Chinam. Because it was Sinas Chinam that destroyed the Bayis Sheni, and we're going to have Ahavas Chinam one to another, then Be'ez Hashem Yisbarach, we will get that stone back, which will say Shiftei Yeshurun. And he ends up and says, that is the Nusach HaTfilah on Yom Kippur, that we say, Ki ato solchan li Yisrael. We ask the Rebbe to be Moichel, the Yisrael. And then, after Hol Yom Kippur, U'mochlon l'Shiftei Yeshurun. It's those words of a dafka. After Yom Kippur, we ask the Rebbe to please give us the right, the emes kapara, The Emes HaKaparim, we should be Zoicha Bez Hashem Yisbarach to be Shiftei Yeshurun. I want to just leave you over with a Ma'aseh Shahoya, and how precious this oilam in this room is. Whenever Rabbi Leib was asked about tefillas for people, about segulas for people, he always said the same thing. He used to tell people certain things, that is true. But he also told them, Vosish left mit Birchas Kahanim. Vosish left mit Birchas Kahanim. And there was a reason that when Rabbi Leib came to America with Ger Rebbe, he davened in the Torah. And the reason he davened over there was because he wanted Birchas Kahanim. He never gave up Birchas Kahanim. I'll tell you the truth, I never was mine in this. I still don't understand Simcha, why we don't have Birchas Kahanim. Because we're so what? So what? That's a reason Mevatel and I say. I don't know, by the way, I still don't know. It's on a Maratza Shakasha, but I'm an Amoritz, and that's my Maratza Shakasha that I'm entitled to have. But you people are so fortunate. You give Birchas Kahanim whenever you're down B'tzibur. And Rabbi Leib used to go there. So we should be Zoicha Bez Hashem Yisbarach, all of us, to be Zoicha to the Birchas Kahanim, to call Brochus HaKsubas B'Torah. Amen. Hashem.
ולכן אני מקשר, אמר אז הקדוש ברוך הוא,